Hi campers, and welcome to Friday of VBS week. I have had so much fun this week and I am really sad it's the last day, but we have a couple more really fun crafts to do today. And I'm going to show you how to make these really pretty paper sun catchers. So first I'll go over the materials you need. You're going to need some colored tissue paper. We think it's fun to use a bunch of different colors. Some scissors. You're going to need some glue. This is just like white Elmer's glue. A paintbrush. A piece of wax paper. And then you're going to need something to make a frame. So you could use a standard paper plate like this one that you just cut the center out of, or you could use some construction paper. And then you're also going to need a glue stick and some markers to decorate. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is to cut some little squares of tissue paper. So I've got a piece of tissue paper here, and I'm going to cut a strip out of it like this. Go. And then I am going to cut my strip into little squares to use in my Suncatcher. I already have a pile of them here, but you're going to want to make a lot because you're going to need quite a few for your Suncatcher. Alright, so there's some more paper squares. And then the next step is to make your glue. So we're not just going to use regular glue, we're going to mix it with some water. So the ratio is 2 parts glue to 1 part water. So here I have a teaspoon of glue, so I'm going to add half a teaspoon of water, like that. Then I'm going to use my paintbrush to mix it up. Go. This is a fun part. Alright, so I got my glue now, my glue mixture. So now I'm going to take my wax paper and I put it on the table, and I'm going to take a little glue and paint it onto the wax paper. And I should, cover a pretty good area. And then I'm going to take some tissue paper and I'm going to stick it down onto the glue like that. And maybe I'll paint a little more on top of it just to make sure it stays. And then I'm going to take another piece of paper and stick it down like that. Here, I'll show you. I'm overlapping them a little bit so that it looks cool. And now maybe I'll add a light blue one. Paint a little more glue on top. Maybe I'll do some pink. You can use whatever colors you want and as many as you want. You could do all one color. You could do a bunch of different. I think it looks really cool with a lot of different colors. You could do a whole rainbow. So as you can see, I'm just adding squares of paper, layering them on top of each other like this. I'm not going to do the whole Suncatcher right now because that would take a lot of time, but you're going to want to keep adding paper until your Suncatcher is as big as you want it to be, so about this big. Alright, so I've got my paper layered on like this, and obviously you're going to want to do a lot more than this. And then it's going to need to dry for a few minutes. So I'm going to set it over here to dry. But so we can keep the video moving, I have one here that's already dried. So this is what your Suncatcher is going to look like. It's about the right size. The next step is to peel it off the wax paper. Now it should come off pretty easily. If it doesn't, don't worry, you can just cut out the wax paper. It'll still look really pretty. But if you can, it's good to peel it off like that. There we go. So I've got it peeled off the wax paper now, and it's just the tissue paper. I can set the wax paper aside. So now I'm going to make a frame for my Suncatcher. So one way you could do that is you could just take this paper plate and cut out the center of it and just use the rim of the plate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of construction paper and I am just going to cut out a frame from that. It's pretty simple. I'm just cutting out a circle of construction paper, and then I'm going to cut out the center of my circle too. So there's my circle, like that, and now I'm going to cut out the center of it. So I have a nice rim to decorate. Alright, so here I have my frame, just like that. So now I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put it on the back of my frame so I can stick my Suncatcher on. There we go. There's a lot of glue to make sure it sticks really well. And now I'm going to take my Suncatcher and I am just going to stick it right onto the frame, just like that. So there you go. Now you've got your Suncatcher in the frame. And if you want to, you can even decorate the frame a little bit. So I've got some markers here to decorate with. You could maybe write one of your favorite verses from this week. You know what? I am going to keep it simple and I'm just going to write God loves you on my Suncatcher. It's a good message. You could draw pictures, hearts, stars. You could draw a picture from one of our stories this week. You could, oh, here, I'm going to write VBS on mine too. VBS 2020. There we go. And that's it. You have your super pretty tissue paper Suncatcher. And these are really fun to hang in a window. They look really good. They look just like stained glass. They're really, really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this craft and all of the other crafts this week. It has been such a fun week. And of course, we really miss seeing you guys in person, but we thought virtual VBS was really fun too. So have an amazing rest of your summer, campers.
Bye guys, we miss you. Happy summer.